Hello and welcome to the Fools on Stools podcast. My name is Kevin Walker, and as always, I'm joined by my co-stars Anthony Council and Cullen Brown. Today is Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of your day. If you have a great time and don't mind, please do post us, share us, or tell us about us. If you don't like what you hear, then simply tell no one. Today is National Get Over It Day. So Cullen, Anthony, no specifics here. Nobody getting called out or anything like that. What do y'all need to get over?
Go ahead, Cullen. Go ahead.
I really don't have anything for today. I really don't.
Nothing.
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 Nothing in your.
Nope.
Nothing's on
Nothing
your
at all?
mind.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Nothing.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure a birdie, turned into a Bronco today, and he's one of your favorites. Are you sure there's nothing you need to get over today?
All right. Well.
Nope.
All right. Okay.
Nope.
Anthony.
Get over school. I'm ready for school to be over. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm ready.
I'm just ready for it to be
We're
done.
so close to spring break right now.
I am ready for spring break. I agree. Well.
How about you, Kev?
I'm
Anything
ready
you
for.
get over?
I mean, I'm ready for spring break. Let me think. I need to get over. Trying to get over how expensive these damn gas prices are.
Ooh, man, you telling me?
I'll tell you that much.
You telling me gas was like $6 the other day
Trying to
in
get
my truck?
Trying to get over the fact that I'm gonna have to spend a paycheck to get gas.
Like, right? And I mean, hey, shout out to anyone and prayers to people in Ukraine for sure.
Yes, of course.
But also, I know in California and Washington, ooh, man, them gas prices at least $9, $10.
People gonna be flocking to Texas.
Look, if anyone that needs a ride that knows me, you better be paying me, okay? You better be paying
Hey,
me.
no more free trips.
No more.
No
None.
more free trips.
No
that
more.
stuff is off the table.
I need a 20 from you.
I had to say $5 ain't cutting it anymore.
No.
$5 ain't
Paying
cutting
for
it.
my food ain't gonna be doing it no more.
You can Zelle me, email me, Cash App me. I don't care. Period. I need money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We running around here for scraps. Okay.
So is that like going to be the new flex? It's like, hey, how much do you have in your tank? And you just say a full tank, and that's like the new flex that you have.
be like, damn,
Right.
bro, you got a full tank.
They're
Like,
right.
dude, look at this guy.
Bro, I got gas. I put 40 in my thing. It was still halfway. I'm like, oh my
Bruh.
gosh.
No, it cost me like, I think it was like 45, and I was like 3/4.
Bro, no, man.
It's just tough.
Yeah.
Cash App, Zelle, email, I don't care.
People are gonna have to start paying up for sure.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
Well, in other news, we are welcoming. This is official. Breaking news. We're welcoming our official, the men's basketball insider of the Fools on Stools podcast, Mr. Tyler Luker. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, what's all going on, guys? Having a good day?
Talking some basketball.
I mean,
yeah.
some of us are having a good day.
Yeah, maybe not Cullen.
yeah, maybe not.
Well,
But we'll get to
try
that.
to prolong that as long as we can.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a lot longer than just today.
Yeah.
But we got to get through it. We got a podcast today, so.
But Tyler, you've been covering UNC basketball for really the whole year now. How's that been? And going into the the playoffs for us?
I mean, they're one hell of a team. They've been showing it all year. Maybe not fans as they deserve throughout the year, but maybe I think fans are really starting to take that they are the real deal. And
How
Yeah,
crazy? How crazy are those maniacs? Actually,
they're pretty crazy, especially whenever teams are about to be leaving. They start jangling the keys, telling them to get the buses started. They get pretty crazy during those games.
Get the bus warmed up. And that's the truth.
So you're going to be in Frisco for the tournament run of the Mean Green.
Yeah.
Is there anything kind of you're looking forward to making your way over to Frisco? Or?
any predictions? Anything? Any notables that you want to bring up?
I mean, notables are going to be, since La Tech won today, that game tomorrow against Western Kentucky, that's going to tell a lot about the future of the tournament. And with Rice, really, it feels like an upset against Charlotte, really, because Rice isn't that great of a team. I mean, UNT really beat the brakes off of them twice this year. So going into that, I think that favors well for UNT, but, it's March. Anything can happen.
That is very true. I think that should be like the tagline for March. March, anything can happen. Like, it's true. Anything.
I thought that was a tagline.
It may be.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a buzzer beater season in March for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, Cullen, I know you were trying to prolong it, but it is the first topic that we're supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
So, like, do you want to talk about it, or you want to?
I mean, I'm here, so like we're gonna talk about it. And
Yeah.
this is the Fools on Stools. I don't run for any topic. But
Okay.
This is gonna be a difficult one, I'll admit.
Yeah, and we'll go back to
but
college basketball in a little bit, but
before we talk about the elephant in the room, if you must, we're gonna talk about Cullen's baby face. Unfortunately, we don't have the camera on us today. We don't have the video.
Cullen got shaved off, man.
Cullen did not only not get a mullet, he cut almost all of his hair off, got rid of the beard, and I am standing in front of someone that looks my age.
No, I'm about to say you finally look older than me for once. I think, because like it's
It's the mullet.
I mean,
it's just the mullet. That's really
It's
it.
the tattoo.
my own mom had to do a double take. It was
It's it's bad when your mom has to do a double take.
yeah. I mean, it's been a while. I don't even remember the last time I had gotten a haircut before this one.
I mean, the beard's gone, the sideburns are kind of gone, the mullet's gone.
I mean,
Everything.
You're gonna have to get ID'd, man. I'm sorry. You may get ID'd.
I haven't attempted to buy anything 21 plus or up, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
But you look good.
Thank you,
You
sir.
do look good.
You look
Thank
sharp.
you.
You
Now-
do. You do.
See,
look
like,
good.
so here's the thing. It's not just that I got a baby face. Anthony's all dressed up today. We got Tyler in studio. He's always looking fresh.
I have yet to debut my mullet.
There you go.
myself.
So, like, it's not just me that, unfortunately, the audience can't see because we're all looking fly today. But
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, the only thing, and this kind of jumps us right into our topic. The only problem is that good old Seahawks hoodie you got on, and I know you got
do.
something to talk about.
I
I
mean-
know you got something to talk about, Cullen.
So, am I going to be the one that has to break the news? Do I need to lead us into this topic?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Not Cullen's corner, but it is Cullen's disappointment.
it is.
Okay, I don't know if that one's going to stick, Kevin, but we'll continue.
Hey, it was on the fly.
They keep disappointing you.
Here.
NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported yesterday that the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos agreed in principle on a trade sending quarterback Russell Wilson to Denver for a massive haul. The full package, which also sent a fourth-round pick to Denver's way, included 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, a fifth-rounder, quarterback Drew Lock, defensive tackle Shelby Harris, and tight end Noah Fant. Per NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, the Seattle Seahawks also released star middle linebacker Bobby Wagner after 10 years with the team, both for Russell and Bobby. Guys, I could have my own 2 hours of just talking about this one topic alone. And I've already talked about it a bunch on social media and just with friends and to you guys off camera. So I'm going to just make it as short as I can because I know we got a long show today and we got a lot to talk about. I mean, it's the end of an era for Seattle Seahawks football. Russell Wilson has missed the playoffs during his Seattle tenure only twice. This was last season and then 1 year when he went 9-7 back in 2017. Russell Wilson is no longer a Seattle Seahawk. Those words just pain me so much to say out loud. And this was a trade that obviously wasn't a complete surprise because Russell has made his intentions known that he wasn't unhappy in Seattle. Obviously listing out 4 teams that he potentially wanted to go to in the previous offseason. He obviously did not get traded to one of those teams, instead of going to Denver in the AFC. I thought this was interesting timing on multiple ends just because I didn't expect it to be this offseason that he got traded, if I'm being honest. I thought, if anything, it would be next offseason. But ultimately, the deal got done. Russell Wilson is now in the AFC with the Denver Broncos, and Seattle, their only quarterback on the active roster right now is Drew Lock.
That's gonna be interesting.
How fun is that?
I mentioned to all of y'all before this podcast start, if Drew Lock is the next player for the Seattle Seahawks that gets to wear number 3 after the departure of the greatest quarterback in franchise history,
That ain't gonna be pretty.
I might actually physically get sick, like physically throw up. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it. As a man, I cried when I saw this news. Russell Wilson, for those who don't know, is my favorite player in the NFL, and it sucks because I mean, we were pretty much, when he was healthy, it was like a really good winning team, a lot of success. Obviously, won the Super Bowl back in 2013, 2014. Been to another. former All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowler. It sucks. And now that I got a guy who couldn't even beat Teddy Bridgewater out in Denver as my quarterback, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like a giant kick to the nuts today.
So for the Seahawks moving forward, do y'all plan to get Malik Willis in, or are you on the market to pick up? I mean, I guess Jimmy Garoppolo, because that's the only quarterback I can think of off the top of my head that's available and worthy of a starting spot.
So so we do have the 9th overall pick that wasn't included in the trade for Russell Wilson. That could very well be used as a quarterback. They may decide to go best player available there and just commit to the full rebuild if they don't like any quarterback, or maybe Malik goes off the board earlier before pick 9. I don't think it'll be Jimmy Garoppolo because they have played Jimmy Garoppolo a fair amount in the NFC West, and they know that Jimmy Garoppolo is not the best quarterback out in the market. Could be a bunch of different things. Right now, I'm under the impression that there is no immediate move being made. I don't think there was going to be like an immediate turnover of who was going to be the quarterback. Wouldn't shock me if Malik Willis is on the board, or if they like Kenny Pickett, or if they like Matt Corral or one of these other guys, that they may take him in one of the first 2 rounds. The direction's unclear. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Seattle chose a 70-plus-year-old head coach, the oldest head coach in the NFL, and a guy in John Schneider who hasn't had a first-round hit since Earl Thomas back in 2010 for the Seahawks. And, no player from that Super Bowl winning team is on the roster anymore. And the direction of the Seahawks, I think it's going to be a lot of rebuilding and a lot of growing, and it's not going to be pretty for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it's a rebuilding season for the Seahawks. I'm still surprised that they didn't keep Russell Wilson and they just switched out coaches. I think that probably would have been the best thing. Pete Carroll's been there for ages now, being the oldest head coach. I just think it's very surprising that the team that you beat in the Super Bowl, like 43-8, and then you go to that team to be the franchise quarterback. I think that's amazing. I still laugh at Jerry Jeudy's tweet the day that Russell Wilson got traded there. It was the emoji, the side, like emoji, like, and then, we lit right after.
That was funny.
From Jerry Jeudy's perspective, he finally has a quarterback that can get him the ball. So of course
if you're Jerry Jeudy, who would you rather have?
Drew Lock or Russell? Well, obviously.
I'm talking about Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers.
Well, look, I think in retrospect that Aaron, there was never really going to be, because we're going to talk about that here in a second. We don't want to jump too far ahead of it, but I think he's just happy with the guy because they've had some quarterback turmoil in Denver. There's been 11 quarterbacks since Peyton Manning that have started for the Denver Broncos, and now they trade for Russell Wilson, so they've got the immediate fix there. And I will remind, and the last thing I will say about this, part of Russell Wilson's decision making. 2 years ago, Tom Brady joins the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First year, wins the Super Bowl. This past offseason, Matthew Stafford gets traded to the Los Angeles Rams. First season, wins the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, like, you got to... Hey, can you let me finish my point?
No.
I'm not saying Russell Wilson's going to win. What I'm saying is that he's seeing these guys leave their teams from, Tom Brady was with New England for 20 years. Matthew Stafford was with Detroit for more than a decade, and they found instant success. So he's got to sit there being like, why not I give it a try?
Yeah. Hey, do I think they're going to have instant success? They could. Jerry Judy's a cold wide receiver.
It's a tough division.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Because it is a tough division. In the AFC, you got these young guns coming out of nowhere, literally lighting it up.
If the worst quarterback in your division is Derek Carr, that's a damn good division.
That's true. I do agree.
That is.
I will say the only good thing, in my opinion, that came out of this was the whole Mina Kimes and Arizona Cardinals interaction. If you have not seen that on Twitter, the Arizona Cardinals decided that they were going to at Mina Kimes and ask her if she was, quote, good because, obviously big Seattle fan. And she responds with a picture of Kyler Murray playing baseball in an A's uniform. And
Mina Kimes for president. I'm saying it right now.
Mina Kimes is just
Love Mina Kimes.
a legend.
Shout out to Mina Kimes also.
Oh, my God.
That was hilarious.
That's like one of the few things that actually made me smile in the past couple of days. I swear.
God.
I swear.
Made you smile. Imagine how Noah Fant feels. Goes to bed, finds out there's a trade. Oh man,
He's
I'm
like,
free
"Oh,
of Drew
man."
Lock.
He's like, oh,
Just
man.
kidding. You're with Drew Lock again.
He's like, oh man, Russell.
I
he's
can't
like,
get away from this guy, you know? God.
He probably reads the first. He's like, oh, awesome, Russ is playing with us. And he's like, oh, never mind. Looks like packing my bags.
Yep.
That was a tough one. But I mean, hey, listen, we'll gladly accept you, Noah Fant. Welcome to the team. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. I'm gonna be honest with you, bud.
Yeah.
Until we get a real quarterback in there. But yeah, I definitely think we need to switch gears up a little bit, and I'm not just saying that because we will be talking about Russell Wilson later in the show. But there was another quarterback that made some big headline news yesterday.
And he decided not to switch gears. He said he decided to stay with the same team after all the drama and the turmoil. Aaron Rodgers resigns with Green Bay. That's huge.
Yeah.
And like, I just think it's like, did any of you guys expect him to move? Like
No.
after just the long awaited wait of
I
like,
don't-
okay, where is he gonna go?
I did not expect him to move at all.
There was a brief moment where, because of their cap situation and everything, I thought there was a real strong possibility. My whole thing was I never could pick out one destination where I thought it would make sense for him to go. And ironically, the one place that I thought if I had to pick one was Denver. And Denver sat there, and apparently the deal with Russell Wilson had been going on for 2 weeks. So they had already made their decision, like, we're switching off of Aaron Rodgers. So, but Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, who signed the franchise tag from the Green Bay Packers, they are back with the pack. Didn't even mean to rhyme there, but we'll go with it. Aaron Rodgers tweeted out, hey, just want to clear things up. Yes, I'll be playing with the Green Bay Packers next year. However, report, because there were some, misleading reports about what his contract will actually be. But he did say, I'm very excited to be back. # year 18. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers.
My thing with that is, I mean, where else are you going to find success like that? Like, where else are you going to play? You're going to go to Denver, try to find success there with a coach. I mean, like, that's great. But, I mean, you built, like that place is built for you in Green Bay. I mean, finish your career off there. But win a Super Bowl. Please try to win a Super Bowl. Like, after all the drama you've put the whole entire organization in, if you don't win a Super Bowl, I'm sorry. You're still going to be one of the greatest regular season players of all time. Like, don't put us all through this turmoil and not go win a Super Bowl. You cannot just go win an NFC championship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. You have to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, Aaron Rodgers, so he's a 4-time NFL MVP. He's only second behind Peyton Manning in terms of those regular season awards. He could win some more regular season accomplishments.
Except he has 2 rings.
Right, well, Peyton, yeah. I mean,
Right.
he was carried to the last one, but yeah. Yes,
I mean, yes, but he has 2 rings.
Yes, he does. And that's the thing with Aaron Rodgers, that's the only thing left without we're questioning is just his postseason success. Because since his winning Super Bowl back in, 2010, I believe that he won, he's had a losing record in the postseason. So, and that's Aaron Rodgers. So,
And I mean, even though Russell Wilson has only 1 ring, he's been to 2 Super Bowls. I believe Aaron Rodgers has only been to 1.
Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of telling some people off air about this. You know, as a Cowboys fan, I have feelings about Aaron Rodgers. I won't express those feelings.
You sound so sad when you say that. I have feelings
I
for
have
Aaron Rodgers.
feelings for Aaron Rodgers.
No, not feelings for, feelings about Aaron Rodgers. Anyway, but that is besides the point. Aaron Rodgers going back to the Green Bay Packers does not surprise me at all. I don't think it changes anything, though. I still think they're going to be dominant throughout the regular season. They're going to have one slip-up loss. They'll probably beat the Cowboys in the playoffs, and then they'll crap out right before the Super Bowl. Just like they always do.
If they get to a Super Bowl.
It's what they always do.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna lose some talent this offseason because they are able to retain Adams and Rodgers, but
They have not done anything with Jair Alexander.
yeah, well I think Zadarius Smith.
Yep, they had nothing with him.
Yeah, there's a bunch of players that are gonna be kind of on the chopping block. MVS I think might also be on the chopping block. One of the Rodgers' other targets that he throws to other than
Valdez Scantling, yeah.
And no, it's going to be a different team. They're going to have to retool and rebuild again because they are in some cap
trouble.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what the Green Bay, because they're not going to be as good as they were this past year in terms of just talent. But yeah, I think Rodgers has just made the commitment. He's going to be a Packer for life, depending on, we'll see, when how long this deal is for when it comes out. But I think he just reassured and reaffirmed to Packer Nation that I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And after that note, we're going to take it on to a very much so not so exciting topic.
Is it exciting, or is it not so exciting, or is it just another run of the mill for?
So, in my opinion,
one of your potential MVP that was back in the day with the Philadelphia Eagles, and now you're basically injury prone and you can't lead a team.
So, in my opinion, first off, anybody who compared Carson Wentz to Dak Prescott whenever he was on his MVP run needs to go back to that moment and rethink your life. Second off, Carson Wentz going to the Washington Commanders makes me laugh because I think there's a shot that he could be overtaken. Because I think they could still go out and draft a quarterback or whatever they want to do, and he could still possibly not get that spot. For the Colts, what are you doing now? Because it does not seem like they had anything lined up after.
The Colts didn't want Carson Wentz. I
know they didn't want. Who wants Carson Wentz?
I mean,
if you're not the Commanders, the Commanders literally reached out to all 31 teams in the NFL. It's like, hey, what can we do for your quarterback? And they're like, you can do absolutely nothing. And the Colts were like, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I saw on social media was about Carson Wentz was Carson Wentz just doesn't know how to lead a team. He does not know how to lead a team at all.
And not only that, but I think that somebody can come up with a list of 4, 5 quarterbacks in the league that whenever they gear up to throw a ball, your heart jumps through the roof because you're like, that ball could be intercepted, it could be dropped, it could be an 80-yard touchdown, it could be fill in the blank. Carson Wentz is one of those quarterbacks.
So
you just never know what you're going to get from him.
So I just want to put the details of the trade out there for those who did not see it. Indianapolis and Washington swapped second overall picks. Indianapolis also acquired a third-round pick at number 73 overall and a conditional third-round pick in 2023 that could become a second-rounder if Wentz plays more than 70% of the snaps. Mr. Two Springs, if he can make it that long.
And I'll add on. The Commanders agreed to pay out Carson Wentz $28 million.
Full salary. They're taking on.
The Colts won that trade by $1 million.
Yeah.
Not only did they get draft compensation for it, they don't have to pay him $28 million.
Yep. But to answer your question, Kevin, because you're like sitting there, you're like, oh, who are the Colts potentially going to go get? Rumor has it they're interested in Jimmy Garoppolo. Speaking of the man that we were talking about earlier from San Francisco. Yeah, there is reports that there is some interest there. There hasn't been anything substantial in terms of like what an offer could potentially look like.
49ers have came out and said that, well, they didn't come out and say, but there's been reports that the 49ers have come out and said that they have been getting offers on Jimmy Garoppolo, and the Colts are, of course, one of those teams.
Yeah. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo underwent successful surgery on his throwing shoulder, and this could be, limit his potential start when it comes to training camp and offseason workouts and all this other stuff. But he's still a hot commodity. He did help the 49ers reach the NFC Championship game this past season.
And got destroyed.
Yeah, he did.
Got demolished.
Yeah, he did.
Panicked and threw an interception.
I mean, okay,
he's more of a game manager.
Okay, but let's take Jimmy Garoppolo out of the 49ers and let's place him with the Colts. You have probably a top 3 running back, Jonathan Taylor. You have what could arguably be, I'd probably say a top 10 wide receiver in the league potentially in Michael Pittman. You have
he's getting there.
I mean,
he's talented. He's not top 10 yet.
No, I mean, I'm saying like he could be a future top 10 wide receiver.
He's climbing the ladder.
Like he's getting better.
That ladder's pretty far away, but go ahead.
Anyway, You have T.Y. Hilton, which, yeah, he's probably on the downhill of his career, but he is still there. And, I mean, you got some pieces in Indianapolis. You have a decent, I'll say decent O-line. So you place Carson Wentz in there. Or I apologize. You
take Carson Wentz out.
Yeah,
you put Jimmy G.
you put Jimmy Garoppolo in there. Is that better? Or are you doing a lateral trade?
It's about as lateral as it gets for me. I mean, like, you want to sit there and talk about what he could potentially have in Indianapolis. The 49ers had the number one rushing attack in the NFL statistically last year. I know they don't have a player quite at the level of Jonathan Taylor, but they still had a pretty good offensive line that's at least comparable to the Colts. I would slightly favor the Colts in everything in terms of offensive line, but I'd take Deebo Samuel over Michael Pittman any day, and even Brandon Ayuk would be this better second option in terms of like whatever the Colts aging T.Y. Hilton and everything. So I don't, and Jack Doyle also just retired for them. For the Colts. To me, it's just, and Jimmy Garoppolo's not known as being the best with the football either, which that was part of the reason that they got Carson Wentz out of there, because he turned the ball over, not only just throwing interceptions, but also coughing it up and
injury prone, made of glass. And I alluded to this earlier when I talked about, that top 5 quarterback list of people that just, make you cringe a little bit when they start to get ready to throw. Jimmy Garoppolo is one of those quarterbacks for me. I think I agree with Cullen. I think this is, you're putting the same piece in there by putting in Jimmy Garoppolo. But at the same time, who do you go for? I mean, the Colts are not in a position to get a quarterback.
No. You're literally, like you said, you're getting a new car, but with the same broken parts of the car that ain't going nowhere.
And so, I mean that's pretty good.
You're replacing a broken engine with a broken engine.
Exactly. And the car ain't gonna be moving. Yeah. The only part that's gonna be moving is the running back, and that's it. But I mean, hey, I think ups for San Francisco, start of a new era of the NFC with.
I'm excited to see what they can do, Trey Lance.
Yeah, I'm excited too. To see what they can do.
So I mean, I guess the Texas fan in me just says, "Hey, Sam Ehlinger first starting." Sam Ehlinger, QB1.
Yep, for Indianapolis as of the moment he is. So, but I definitely think it'll be a lateral move. It'll be very interesting to see what not only the Seahawks for me, but also the Indianapolis Colts and other teams do at the quarterback position going forward.
Yeah, of course. And let's take it over to the association. And he may not be vaccinated, but boy, was he killing it. Kyrie Irving drops 50 points in a win. Brooklyn Nets win.
I mean, it's nothing to be about. It's Kyrie Irving. He's
it is
kind of
something. It is kind of something to about because hasn't been doing anything this year.
His road home slips are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so to get back to the 50 point, he was 15 and 19 from the field, including 9 of 12 from 3-point range.
Yep.
I mean, that's that's damn near as efficient as you can get.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm not taking away from him. He played amazing. It's just, if you're Kevin Durant, you kind of take him off to the side and be like, hey, so like you want to like do this like every night?
Game?
Yeah, you want to do this every time?
Yeah. I mean, the Nets improved to 33 and 33, so they're back to 500. They are a game ahead of the Hornets for the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference. They do play James Harden and the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, boy. That's going to be good. Ben Simmons is playing, right? Oh, wait. He's playing on the bench. Sorry about that.
He's watching.
So have I won that argument with you, or are you conceding that, Anthony, by throwing that in there?
What?
Who won the trade?
Who won the trade?
Yeah.
No, you haven't won yet.
What?
Yeah, you haven't won yet.
I've won by default.
Haven't won yet. Wait until Ben Simmons gets back on the court, and then we'll see.
Listen, at this rate, we're going to keep waiting.
I mean, yeah.
He's doing as much as us 4 sitting in the studio right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting how I'm like, the Nets won the trade, but I'm like, die hard Joel Embiid too, so it's like Nets Sixers.
Nets did not win that trade. Ben Simmons isn't playing yet. He is not. I don't even think there's a date for him to play, and the 76ers are already playing better, and James Harden is already fitting in that offense. I definitely would say the Nets won that trade.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
You said the Nets won that trade?
Did I say the Nets?
You did. You did say the Nets.
And I remember before he agreed with me by saying the Nets won the trade.
When?
When the original trade happened.
I said I can be wrong. I said there's potential. I said actually Correction. I said I think the 76ers win the trade now. I think the Nets win in the future.
We'll go back to the
I'm about
tape.
to say we need to pull the tape.
We'll go
on that
back
one.
to the
We'll go back. Yeah,
We'll go back to the
But
tape.
hey,
will go
listen,
back.
I appreciate that you came onto the right side, the correct side. And saying
Okay,
Philly
I'm
won.
not
Okay.
picking anybody's side.
All
I'm
right.
doing whatever is true.
You know. But yeah, getting to that, Ben Simmons is scheduled to sit versus the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow night. Still nursing some, mental health, some back, some
yeah.
It's a
little
back
everything.
injury, okay? It's a
little
back
bit,
injury.
There's so many things flying out of that camp. I don't even know where to begin. Anthony, given the fact that you were a supporter of the Nets winning the trade and that you are a supporter more so I think than me of Ben Simmons, what are your thoughts of him sitting out tomorrow night? He's going to be on the bench, but he's sitting.
And not playing at all.
He's gonna get booed.
Shouldn't even go.
He really.
He shouldn't,
I heard that he is going to have security around him.
He should. He should. They're going to throw everything and the kitchen sink at that man on the bench. I mean, gosh, he's going to get booed so much.
It's going to be tough.
And I do predict the 76ers are going to destroy Brooklyn.
I mean,
Joel Embiid's going off this year, bro.
yeah, he is. Isn't this the same city that they threw batteries at Santa?
Yeah.
And Cowboys players.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
we're
too.
talking about it's in
It's Philly,
Philadelphia.
man.
It's in Philadelphia.
It's Philly, man.
It's a hard
Yeah,
space
it's in
to play.
Philly.
Dude, Philadelphia is not the team you want to piss off in any organization, in any sport.
The city of brotherly love. Literally. You either going to be loved or you're going to be hated. I don't care.
They celebrated winning a Super Bowl by firing up a town and flipping over cars.
Exactly.
I mean, this is Philadelphia we're talking about.
It's the
You
city
don't
of
want to piss
brotherly
off
love.
anybody in Philadelphia.
Not
Yeah.
even just piss off. They'll boo kids.
Oh,
Kids
yeah.
will miss field
They
goals.
are-
They start
yeah.
booing
They
them.
are
Oh, yeah.
relentless.
You got to have thick skin if you playing in Philly.
It's
I
the
don't care
hardest
what
place to
sport.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Ben Simmons, best of luck. He's gonna be hurting for sure after that.
Look, they're going to be throwing bricks at him.
Yeah, no kidding. Greg Popovich.
Yep.
I mean, he's been in the league for.
Since what?
I mean,
The 90s?
It is his 26th NBA season.
wow.
1,335 career victories. I wanted to get this story in here because they are playing the Toronto Raptors tonight. So he has a potential to break the record for most wins as an NBA head coach. But I just wanted to take a moment to kind of, put some respect on Greg Popovich's name because I know when we think about the greatest coaches in NBA history, we obviously think about Phil Jackson, Red Auerbach back in the earlier days. Greg Popovich's name, obviously Don Nelson, who's the record he's breaking. Greg Popovich absolutely deserves his flowers. He's been a constant professional, always a character, always a fun interview, even though he doesn't say a lot. That's I think to say the least.
Yeah, quick remark.
Yeah, and
on to the next one.
yeah, I mean he's been the face of the San Antonio Spurs, or I guess one of the faces with Tim Duncan ever since he kind of took over there. And it's just crazy to think that in 26 years he's been coaching in the NBA.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a very long time.
That's how old you are.
I totally slipped that, but you are right, Tyler. Yes, that is how old
He's
I am.
been
Not how old he looks.
Yeah. Oof. How old would you say I look? Just really quick, if you had to guess.
20 max.
20 max?
19.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm the same age as Kevin. Or, yeah, I think you're younger than you. But anyways, getting back to the Spurs. They're not doing the greatest this year. Kind of lower in terms of the Western Conference standings. I don't even think they're in the play-in game at the moment. But Greg Popovich still shouldn't affect his legacy. I mean, he's one of the winningest coaches, obviously, in NBA history, about to be. Just want to get y'all's thoughts on the late, great Greg Popovich.
One of the top 5 greatest coaches of all time, I would say as well. Greg Popovich is respected all around. I mean, NBA, from doing the
Everybody knows.
Olympic team
Everybody
that one
knows
time.
Popovich. Everybody knows him.
Coach Pop.
I mean, he's respected all around. I don't know when he's going to stop coaching. Maybe when you turn 27, Cullen. But he's just amazing, literally amazing. And yeah, you're right. I mean, they haven't had a really solid winning season in a minute. I think just by I don't know. Maybe it's draft picks. I mean, Devontae Murray, he's their guy right now, but I think they just need another superstar player on that team because yes, you had DeMar DeRozan there. He was doing his ish, from the mid-range spot.
Briefly, LaMarcus Aldridge was there too.
For a brief stint, and then he left. And,
Kawhi.
Okay, Kawhi is different.
Yeah,
Kawhi was a stud.
Yeah. Well, I mean Kawhi had that whole injury mess, and then didn't necessarily agree with how the medical staff was treating him, and
that's true.
Got up out of there, but
went to Toronto to win a championship.
Yep. But yeah, no, I think Pop's done a lot for the game. He's obviously contributed to Team USA basketball as well.
Yep.
Jay Hatch is one of the greatest coaches. I think not only just in basketball, but in team sports.
I think the record definitely reflects how he is.
Yeah, for sure. Like my thing's always been, if a big man went to the Spurs, like let's say a Sabonis went there, he would flourish. Like,
yeah,
I think he would do fine. Or even some of the modern bigs, or even a guard would do fine there, just because you're in that that culture with Greg Popovich. He's one of the winningest coaches ever. Five times he's won an NBA championship with Tim Duncan, right? Yeah. So it's not like if you go to the Spurs, yes, it's in San Antonio. Shout out to San Antonio. Love San Antonio. But it's not like you're going to a place that doesn't have a winning culture there.
Right.
You're going to one of the Hall of Famer best coaches of all time. Like, come on now.
I mean, listen, if there's ever a player who kind of is like sitting there, he doesn't know what his role could be, and you go to San Antonio and Greg Popovich can't find it for you, you might want to think about a different career move.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Popovich gets the best out of players late in their career. He was the first one to really start like the load management, minutes restriction thing with his superstars. He's been ahead of his time. He really understands the game, obviously. And
on top of that, the coaches that have came out from under that Greg Popovich tree with him.
Oh, yeah.
From, I would say, Steve Kerr came under that.
Yeah, so Steve Kerr.
As a player, too.
Yeah, as a player, too.
Right. It was
Avery Johnson
for the Mavs. There was, I want to say it was either Budenholzer or Quinn Snyder. One of those two came from the Popovich tree.
Yeah, one of those two.
But yeah, no, because again, it's one of those things where Pop's, his legacy is going to live on for a while. It was Budenholzer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was one of those two. I just couldn't remember who. But yeah, Popovich's legacy will be forever lasting impact on the NBA, and hopefully he does break the winning record tonight. So by the time y'all are hearing this, y'all probably will already know. But
yeah, I mean it's basically tied now. They're in the third quarter right now for the Spurs against the Toronto Raptors right now. It's a pretty close game, 69-69. Now it's 73-73 for the Spurs versus the Raptors right now. So, yep. But we can kick it back to Mr. Tyler because we got some college basketball to talk about.
Yeah, but before we talk, I just want to clear something up. We are not a program or a podcast that is about stealing things or doing things the wrong way. So, men, we cannot any longer use the term bleep madness.
Oh my God. You just talked about this earlier.
It is a copyright, and we must now say anything else but bleep madness.
So which one would y'all be more mad at me for? If I actually said the F word or if I said bleep madness, like the actual word?
Dude, drop the F-bomb. I'm trying I'm
not
not
to
trying
get
to
copyrighted.
I'm not trying to get sued, man. I'm not trying to get sued. So, I mean, we can use a numerous amount of terms. I've heard big men with small balls. I've heard balls and nets. I've heard multiple different things, but we cannot be copyrighted on this podcast.
Kevin's got a different television than the rest of us, clearly.
Yeah,
but
clearly, yeah.
Let's just call it the big dance, the big tournament. If we have to change,
it's the big dance.
It's
always the big
Okay,
dance.
big dance.
It's
Big
buzzer
dance.
beater madness. That's what it is.
But we are talking about the NCAA tournament. God, it's so great that March is here. I love the fact that it's tournament time. Tyler,
March is fantastic. It brings madness.
are we?
I like that. I like that. Play on words. Yeah, it does.
Non-copyrighted.
In all seriousness, Tyler, what you got for us?
Yeah.
Well, I'm covering UNT men's basketball in the upcoming CUSA tournament, and they're trying to clinch a berth for the NCAA tournament.
Yep. So I mean, so Louisiana Tech pulled off the win. We were kind of hoping that the old Charlotte was gonna do a little something, but
that doesn't work out.
no, didn't not work out at
Yeah,
all.
Marshall couldn't really pull it out.
No, they
As
didn't.
soon as Lofton got cooking, it was over.
Yeah, they let us down. I was like, well, all right. And then Rice got the win. So UNT is gonna be playing Rice. So I mean, how do you feel about that matchup?
I think it's better than if they were to play Charlotte because Rice is the best 3-point shooting team in Conference USA if you look at the statistics. And the 2 times they played UNT, they could not nail any from deep. They hit 3 3-pointers in both games and shot under 25% in both games from deep. And UNT's perimeter defense really just neutralized any sort of offense they had.
I mean, is UNT still the top defense in the country?
Scoring defense, I believe so.
Yep. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
One of the top defensive guys like J.J. Murray, he's really going to lock down any guard that tries to take a perimeter shot. And it's apparent if you look at the 2 games they played earlier this season, which are both double-digit wins.
Now, I know we're going to be focusing a lot on North Texas, obviously being residents of the school, but we also have to look at the other side of the bracket. UAB is the current or was the betting favorite going into this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They're scheduled to play. Who was it today? We did get the results last minute. It's not Louisiana Tech. It's oh my God, I'm blanking right here.
It's either Southern Miss or Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, I think Southern Miss got that win though, didn't they?
Yeah, 67-64.
So is it Southern Miss over Florida Atlantic?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, Southern Miss and Florida Atlantic are actually playing right now.
Oh.
Okay, so we don't know. Okay, so I wasn't just screaming
I
crazy.
apologize then.
Um,
I think I was thinking of women's basketball conference tournament.
yeah. Can you just talk about why, in your opinion, UAB would be the favorite going into this tournament and how they could potentially fare going forward?
Well, UAB, because the West is so stacked this year, they're in a really good position because they're on the other side of the bracket. With La Tech being on the other side with North Texas and Western Kentucky, it really kind of clutters things up. Whereas UAB only really has to worry about Middle Tennessee because the teams from the East aren't as good as the teams from the West. And that's just how it's been all year. And having to beat either FAU or Southern Miss and then just facing the number 1 seed potentially, it's just an easier road because North Texas is so good and La Tech's so good. I mean, La Tech, North Texas, and UAB were in a dogfight all year, and they just kind of drew the cards right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that obviously the dogfights, we've been talking about it the entire tenure of the podcast. Like, hey, UNT's got to win these games. They got to win these games. They've got to win these games, and they do. And then they pull off winning these games. Close one with Louisiana Tech the first time around, took care of them the second time around. Obviously a close one with UAB. They're still the favorites to win it all. And I just want to get your quick opinion, and we'll go to some more college basketball. What point of the Conference USA tournament does UNT have to get to for them to get a bid into the
big
dance.
dance?
The
Yeah.
dance.
The big dance.
The big
Come on, dude.
dance.
big dance? Sure, yeah,
They have to win it.
really.
With that loss in the last game of the regular season, it really kind of killed any chance they had an at-large bid. Because they only have one quad 1 win against La Tech, it really hurt their chances. So they're really going to have to make it to the final. And maybe if they make it to the final and lose to UAB, it's an outside shot, but they're going to really have to get that automatic bid.
I saw I almost slipped. I almost said it. I almost got it.
Watch yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put Anthony through all those edits.
No. It's the big dance.
Anyway, but the projections is that UNT is going to be 12
Yeah, I saw that too on
And
Facing
playing
Bracketology.
UConn
and play UConn.
in Buffalo, which there's going to be no traveling crowd for
And our
North
insider
Texas.
and our
It's gonna be
insider
cold.
Tyler will be traveling to Buffalo.
Are you
Yeah,
excited?
if I can find a way there.
Are you
I'm just
excited for that
kidding.
trip?
Yeah, I love going into snow that's up to my chest, and I'm 6'4".
Casual flex. Casual flex.
Yeah,
not
just,
be
you know.
fun.
All right. So speaking of, because you did mention, Kevin, that we are a 12 seed, and naturally we'd be going up against a 5 seed in the tournament. I'm looking at ESPN Joe Lenardi's bracketology. The current 5 seeds are Houston, the University of Texas, University of UConn, and the University of Alabama. Tyler, as our basketball insider, if you had a choice for UNT to go up against one of these number 5 ranked teams, who would you pick if you had the choice?
I wanted to be Texas.
I'm gonna go Texas.
Really?
They choke every time.
Oh,
come on, man.
I'm not gonna disagree with him. I mean,
And-
look at the damn season.
But in all reality, Texas is a similar team to North Texas in a way that they are very defensively oriented, because they are also at the top of the defensive rating, the scoring defense charts. But the Mean Green, they have an ability. I think they can make a run if they make it, because they are so defensive oriented. The teams that are lights out shooters, they're gonna lock them down, and they will put teams on upset watch.
And on top of that, to grow on your point, I also think that Texas doesn't have a lot of, hey, watch out for that guy kind of scores. I think they got 1 or 2 guys, and North Texas has been able to thrive on those teams having those 1 or 2 guy studs, and taking care of business, and just putting the hurting on them on defense, and then just trying to outshoot on them. I will add, back to Conference USA, when we were talking about Middle Tennessee being really the only opponent that UAB's got to really run through. Middle Tennessee also lost I don't know if that's their leading scorer, but Josh Jefferson, he averaged 14 points per game for them. They lost. Middle Tennessee lost him. He's questionable for the tournament for Conference USA. And last I heard, it wasn't looking very positive. Anthony, what's your take on this whole situation for North Texas? I know you're just North Texas is just gonna blow out everybody that they go play. and
That's
it's
how I've
just-
always been. That's how I've always been.
Stay consistent.
I mean, we're
Anthony.
just gonna go take care of Gonzaga and just
Yep.
win it all,
Yep,
right?
yep. Win the whole dance, the whole shindig, everything. Honestly, for CUSA, I mean, looking at the bracket,
I wouldn't place 50 cents on that.
Jefferson is Middle Tennessee State's leading scorer by 4 points
about 4 points.
per game.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he
four-
averages 14.6.
So that's a big break.
Donovan
for,
Sims, their second highest scorer, is
As if
10.9.
UAB needed a big break.
Right.
So that's really gonna hurt them.
Literally, that's the biggest thing. But anyway, to just looking at it, I mean, North Texas, they're going to be playing up against Rice. I think that they're going to take that game. Kind of like what Tyler said. It's going to be a good game. It may be a quick game. It may be a blowout. We don't know. I still think that it's going to be North Texas versus La Tech in the third round of this matchup to go to the championship. And UAB is just going to sweep the floor with Florida Atlantic or Southern Miss or Middle Tennessee. Like it is what it is, man. I mean, I'm just saying. We've seen these two teams play, go back and forth. And it could just be another matchup with UAB versus North Texas. But I still think just the way La Tech played today, they could be a team that could beat North Texas, though, because they've played them before. And yes, North Texas beat them, but it's tournament season.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Playing in the playoffs, the level of intensity goes up exponentially.
I mean, we saw Rice take care of Charlotte like it was nothing. And
Yeah.
I mean, and nobody. I mean, granted, they were just a 4 and 5 seed, but you don't expect that.
Yeah, and Marshall was trying to come back. They were trying to come back.
Mm-hmm.
They had them boys shooting.
It did. Want to kick it back to Tyler here because I do have a question in terms of what you're going to be looking for whenever you're going to be at these games. We've mentioned pretty much all the guys on the UNC basketball team, whether it's Tyler Perry, whether it's Thomas Bell, whether it's Abu, all these guys, right? If there's one guy in particular that you're really looking towards how he's going to play during this tournament for North Texas, maybe it may not be the most important, maybe just, be a key cog in the chain, as it were. Who are you going to be looking to watch when you're going to be at these games?
Yeah, let's call it Tyler's takes. What's your take? What's your take?
I think the key player that's going to be in this is Abu Usman, because they like to go to him early, him and Thomas Bell, down low. And whenever they're double teaming Abu in the first half, usually he can either make a great pass or it can swarm him. But if they get him cooking early and really free up the perimeter because they just keep throwing it inside, they're going to experience a lot of success. He's been that guy all year with the increase in minutes. He's increased in production. And if he just continues to make smart plays down low, especially in the opening half, they're going to be able to run away with this game tomorrow against Rice.
So who do you think needs to step up?
Step up? I don't know. The guys have been pretty good all year. Maybe after that last loss, Thomas Bell is arguably the best player on the team, and they're going to need some cleanup with the free throws because he's such a force down low, both on defense and offense, that he's the guy they're going to lean to in the clutch moments, him and Tyler Perry. But those two go hand in hand. But Thomas Bell is going to be that crucial guy that you're going to need down low, and you're going to need him to step up because he is the leader of this team.
How much cleanup are they going to need on the free throw line at the charity stripe?
I mean, if like Abu, he started out struggling, and he has been phenomenal from free throw line the last half of the season, really. So it's just practice. And to be fair, Thomas was fouled a lot against UTEP, having to take 16 free throws, which is pretty abnormal. But I think if they just get to the line with the guys that are going to nail them, or just maybe they just weren't hitting them in UTEP. I mean, they're more comfortable. When I was talking to them the other day, they said they were feeling good, that they're really tired after those last couple of games because they had 5 road games out of 7.
Yeah.
That their legs are back under them. They're all feeling good. JJ said the older guys, it was nice on them getting that break. But, yeah, I think if they just clean up the free throws a little bit, their defense is going to set in, and it's going to be a good matchup for them.
Yeah, I
agree.
I think it's just going to be a dogfight between the Final Four. Like, I think these couple rounds, it's going to be fine. I think they may not sweep the floor with La Tech. And that's saying that they're going to beat Rice, because I think they're going to beat Rice. It's going to be easy. I think for the Final Four with La Tech and North Texas and UAB, and whoever UAB plays, I think that's going to be the real nail biter just to see, because those are the top teams that have really been balling out this year in CUSA, and hopefully North Texas will win the whole thing, and you'll be able to write about it.
Yeah, but with those top teams, it's not just this year. They've had all these dogfights. Like La Tech and North Texas, even though they might not even play in this tournament, every single game is a nail biter. This last game was the highest point differential, other than, I guess, they had a neutral site in the last tournament. But every game seems like it's decided by 5 points or less. It's always a dogfight. And it's the same way with UAB. It's those guys like Tyler Perry, Thomas Bell, they seem to always make it happen in the clutch in those games against those big teams whenever you think nothing's going to happen. Mardrez McBride, he's always going to hit that big bucket. And it's going to come down to those moments, especially in March, especially tournament season. Anybody could win. Anybody could go home.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So let's take it over to baseball, okay? All right, let's talk about baseball. Tyler, I have to put you on the spot. I know it's the first day on the pod, but I gotta put you on the spot. I can't with you on this. How did you let this go? Okay, so for those who don't know, Raising Cane's has been doing this thing where they bring on different athletes to basically come work a shift at Cane's and just hang out, do meet and greets and stuff like that. Jamar Chase did it,
Quarterback Stetson Bennett, corner Jalen Ramsey for the Rams.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey. A lot of people are doing it. Well, our basketball insider here, Tyler Luker. He is a lifelong LA Dodgers fan. His favorite player is
Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw was at the Raising Cane's today. I don't know where it was.
It was in Dallas.
In Dallas, yeah. So not too far from us. Definitely driving distance. And what did Tyler do? He went to class.
Yeah, big mistake. I've been trying to get a Kershaw interview. Not an interview, autograph.
Hey,
I might try to get an interview.
Hey, you could have got the interview.
Hey, the interview would be like, hey.
But I'm trying to get his autograph for years. Always came up short. And I just dropped the ball on this one. I mean, because I saw it last night. I'm like, no, he won't want to sign it, this sort of thing. And it's a meet and greet, which is so stupid to even think that. And I got my work done in like 20 minutes. I called my mom because I was saddened by the news, kind of like Cullen over here.
Well, it's about different news, though. You know, it's not LA. It's
At least I'm not the only one on the podcast today. You know who's going through something.
Yeah.
But my mom started clowning me, saying it was in relation to dropping the ball on any internships or something. Because you know how moms always have to relate it to something in your life. But,
Oh, my dad would have been on my head.
but
He would have been like, dude, are you serious? You
went
what?
to class and skipped out on this? What? Like, there are some things I'm going to skip out on. There's some things I won't. This? Yeah, I am not going to class. No way.
I'm sorry, Tyler. I just had to do it to
And
you.
it's for free.
But
I know. I didn't even have to pay a cent.
Man,
But-
I could have just
This is the
drove
first
up there.
first time on the podcast, and you're bringing that up. He's not going to want to come back after this. Come on, no.
no, we're just gonna at Clayton Kershaw like a lot on this episode, and we're gonna try to make it happen. Okay, we're gonna try to make it happen. In other news, I just got a text from my girlfriend saying something that I didn't know happened. Apparently, Troy Aikman was at the Boomer Jacks in Saginaw, Texas, or I guess in all technicality, it would really be like Fort Worth, but literally like 5 minutes from my house, promoting his new beer.
Man. And
Where was I?
I'm about to say, aren't you supposed to be the journalistic reporter?
I was in
of
Denton. I was in Denton, Texas. How did my girlfriend know about this before I did?
How's your girlfriend getting the best scoop of
Exactly.
the relationship?
Like what?
Hey,
Like what is
man.
going on?
Hey,
She should be
man.
the journalism student.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Maybe
So-
she needs to host the podcast.
So this this kind of goes into something that I'm thinking about, right? What are some things that you guys would miss and go to, like skip? Like let's say it's class or a job interview or something like that. Like if you had Tyler would kind of know, but you do. But anyway, or wouldn't do too. But what are some things that you would miss to go see, like your favorite player or favorite person or whatever?
There's not much that I would go to over it. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, who?
Oh man, I mean, you name it. I mean, I'm a very big Players fan. So, let's think. I mean, I'll provide you an example. I guess I didn't technically like meet. I don't know what are the requirements of meeting somebody, but Patrick Mahomes was at my high school one time, and I can promise you I skipped class for that. Like I wasn't the only one. Like there was probably like 35 kids outside watching him practice in the middle of the day. And I did not regret skipping that class. Like in any of I think I missed like 2 or 3 classes, and I did not care. I mean, we did get a picture, so I don't really know if that'd be considered like meeting him.
You saw him.
That's a meet and greet.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm trying to think. What would I not miss? I'm trying not to be like, try not to be like depressing and be like, well, of course, like you wouldn't miss a funeral, of course, or anything
Like a
like
wedding?
that. But hey, babe, like, like I know we got this whole thing going on over here. Like we've kind of been planning it, but
Miss your wedding.
I gotta go see X, Y, and
CD
Z.
Lamb's kind of over there doing autographs, so can we like postpone this or something? I don't know. Probably not a wedding, but I don't know. I mean,
What about like a cousin's wedding?
Absolutely.
Mm.
hey
Absolutely.
man, I just woke up this morning. My throat was kind of hurting. So,
And what if you were the best man?
Hey man, I'm gonna have to rain check on this one.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Call on
could be
the
your
back
best
up.
man. Maybe your second dude could be the best man, and I could just,
You know what? I'm so sorry. You're your second cousin, so it's like My first
Your second
cousin,
cousin.
no, yeah, I'd be like,
Right.
my first cousin asked me if I could be his best man. So, you
Right.
know, first, is better than second. So, I kind of have an obligation. So it's like,
Now we've talked weddings, we've talked funerals, class, obviously.
dude,
But
I
we
just
haven't addressed the big one.
What's the big one?
what's the big one?
So would you miss a Fools on Stools podcast over to go sign an
Here's,
autograph?
here's what's going
This is
to
why we
happen.
do it. This is why we do it late, because I don't think there's anybody doing a meet and greet at 9:30 at night.
Here-
So if your girlfriend just texted you right now and was like, "Hey, Dak Prescott is at my work right now, and he said he'd love to meet you,"
I'd be like, me and the boys are on our way.
we're doing a mobile podcast at that point.
Yep. No, my friend, she actually lived near Dak Prescott like a couple years ago. Like he would be walking his dog in the neighborhood, and
Yeah, probably not anymore. Now he's like a $45 million quarterback.
oh yeah, he doesn't live in the neighborhood anymore. No. Mm-mm. But
Yeah.
she would be like, yeah, see Dak Prescott all the time. I'm like, oh, that's cool, pretty nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Jealous as heck. I was as a young buck, but yeah. So who would you go see?
Okay, let's be realistic. You got a concert. You've been waiting on this concert forever. Fill in the blank for the name. But the same night you got the concert, you got a meet and greet, or you don't have one, but there's a meet and greet near town that you can go to that would cut into the time of the concert. You already bought the tickets and everything for the concert too.
Is it is it just me going to the concert?
Nope, you got a buddy.
Is it like my best friend, or is it just like a guy I kind of know and we
I
listen
mean,
to the same music?
It's Justin.
Fill in the blank.
And then so
Is it just a concert or a meet and greet at the concert too?
Oh
No. The meet and
Ooh.
greet is like far. Like you're not gonna be able to go to both.
It's an hour away. Hour and 30.
I'm not much of a concert fan, so I'd probably dip. I'm not gonna lie. Concerts are a little overrated. Festivals are different, but concerts not so much.
After the mistake I made, I think I'm going all day.
Tyler's like, I'm not missing anything anymore.
I
He's like,
made my mistake.
He's like, I don't
Right.
care if Joe whatever is, I'm going.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
Cullen went and got a Bo Jackson jersey signed.
I did meet Bo Jackson. What was it? A week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
something like
it was
that,
a couple
yeah.
weeks
Yeah,
ago,
I got his jersey signed. So
That was pretty
Which
dope.
jersey?
Oakland Raiders. My buddy got a Royals helmet, and then his dad also got a Royals helmet, and then my other buddy brought a baseball bat, and he signed that.
Oh, that's nice.
So I was actually the
baseball
only
bat?
one that
Wow.
brought something football. I just realized that. So
Oh, he's-
I mean, he was.
I guess he was bigger in baseball eventually.
I mean,
If you look at length of career,
I guess. I mean, he's equally great at.
I mean, it's just
That's
Bo
true.
Jackson. He's one of the.
Bono.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
Bo
just-
knows.
It's just Bo
like
Jackson.
the
It's not just Bo Jackson. It's Bo Jackson.
it's like
Yeah.
the greatest what if story of all time. One of the greatest of all time.
As a pure athlete,
like
it's like untouched.
Oh, phenomenal.
like
And the
like
fact
a,
that his
like
career
a tall tale, like as a person.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that his career ended because of a hip injury too.
Yeah.
Like of all
Right.
things.
Right.
It sucks.
By the way, his hands freakishly strong even to this day. I shook his hand and I was just like, "Oh dear God, he could break it if he wanted to."
It could have snapped.
It could have easily.
You'd be like, "Hey, can you sign my cast when I come back?"
Right.
But no, really nice guy.
So now that we are an hour into the podcast, and we have no signs of turning back, we're gonna go ahead and talk about baseball now that we've talked about meet and greets for I don't even know how long. So I mean, I'll just sum it up for you real quick. More baseball was canceled. More people can't agree.
And nothing's happened.
Rob Manfred sucks.
What else is new?
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, it just like it's getting to the point now where I mean they're just gonna keep adding on.
At first,
and
it
they're
was
gonna,
kind of funny, and it was like, oh, it's kind of a joke. My Rob Manfred sucks. Like, we'll get baseball, and now it's like,
No, we all knew he sucked.
what are y'all?
We all knew he was bad.
Like, what are y'all doing over there?
It's like
They're negotiating in good faith. Don't worry.
Oh,
In good faith.
my ass. I hate that term.
It's coming back in May.
yeah. You actually called the date that you said that you predicted
yeah,
baseball's gonna back.
What was
Yeah, I
your
said
date?
What is the official date that you think baseball?
I said May 20th.
May 20th.
Yeah.
So if baseball is announced that it's returning on May 20th, you heard it here first on the Fools on Stools podcast.
Anthony is an actual fortune
At
teller.
Ant Council
for
23.
future.
Yep. That's it.
I'm so proud that I got your at. I honestly thought I was going to mess that up.
I appreciate it. But yeah, May 20th, it's going to be back.
Shortened season. That's a Dodgers World Series.
Just based off of what Major League Baseball put out, is it their last offer?
I think it very well could be, because obviously when you make that statement, I mean, there's always a chance that it could be the truth. But I really think it's just something that they're really just trying to get this over with. So they're kind of really just forcing their hand in there, trying to throw their weight around.
The players aren't going to back down, though.
Well, and that's the thing, because that's why I don't think it's serious. I don't believe that it's going to be their last offer. Like, they'll sit there, they're like, hey, choose, whatever, and then they'll make a counter, and maybe they stop talking to each other, or maybe they take a break. But it's not going to be like based on the result of these talks determines the rest of the season. I don't believe that to be true, if it were to go south, in my opinion.
I don't know. It's like I don't know. Like, baseball's just, it's making me very frustrated. It's giving us less to talk about. We got to talk about random miscellaneous stuff.
It's not random. It's entertaining.
It is very entertaining.
It is entertaining. I'll
like
give you
French
that.
toast, pancakes, and waffles.
I mean,
stay tuned to hour 2 is all I got to say.
Which, I mean, we know which is better of the three.
Actually, I want to ask Tyler. Tyler, if you could, if this is from the episode last week, but start bench cut, waffles, pancakes, French toast.
Quick answer.
I'm starting French toast all day. I'm benching pancakes, and I'm cutting waffles.
Crazy.
This is a real, honest person.
Yes.
Because if waffles are bad, they taste like cardboard.
Cue the music, Kevin. We don't need to hear anything else from these crazy people.
Gosh.
We don't need to hear anything.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you so much.
It just, I don't know what to say. I'm appalled. I'm upset.
Don't be appalled.
Thank you, Tyler, for joining us on the Fools on Stools podcast. Do you want to plug your handles here?
Sure. Follow Tyler Luker NTD on Twitter and Tyler R. Luker on Instagram for any basketball updates starting tomorrow, really. I mean,
Yep.
Tournament kicks off.
Live tweeting.
Your man for North Texas basketball, Tyler Luker, joining us on the Fools on Stools podcast. Thank you, Tyler, so much.
The official insider of the Fools on Stools podcast. We're going to have to get you some gear so that everybody knows that you are represented.
Yeah.
Not only by the Daily.
Yes.
Not only by the Daily, but
by the
FOS. FOS Incorporation.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to do it for hour 1 of the Fools on Stools podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do be sure to come back for hour 2. You know we're going to have some good, juicy conversations, including a little bit of tears from Cullen and Cullen's Corner. And you know Anthony's going to have us a good start bench cut. So be sure to come back for hour 2. But for now, be a fool and grab your stool.